Okay, this video is for lesson 7.2, simplifying algebraic expressions. This is part 2 of the videos for this lesson. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to simplify algebraic expressions when you have multiple steps beyond just the combining like terms. So sometimes you need to use the distributive property that we talked about previously, as well as combining like terms. When you have something that needs to use the distributive property, you have to do that first before you talk about combining like terms. And the reason is because the distributive property is multiplication, and combining like terms is addition and subtraction. So if you recall in the order of operations, multiplication comes first before we add or subtract. So we are going to want to distribute first if there's anything that needs to be distributed, and then combine like terms. So we're basically just combining the two lessons that we've learned so far in this chapter together. So let's take a look at this first example. This is on your notes. Also on the 7.2 page, I believe it's on the second part of the 7.2 page. So here's an example. We have 3 times the quantity 2x minus 6 plus 8x. So first thing I need to do before I start looking for like terms, I don't want to just identify my like terms here because this 2x is being multiplied by 3. So it's not 2x plus 8x. We have to start by distributing the 3 times 2x, bring down the minus sign, and the 3 times 6. And then put the plus 8 at the end. So 3 times 2x is 6x, minus 3 times 6 is 18, and then plus 8x, bring that down as well. So step 1 is to distribute. Step 2, we're going to identify like terms. I'm just going to say LT. Like terms are 6x and plus 8x. Step 3, we're going to rewrite so that the like terms are next to each other. 6x plus 8x and then minus 18. And then step 4 is to combine those like terms. So 6x plus 8x, that's 14x minus 18. So really we're just adding one extra step at the beginning, which is to distribute first before we do all of the like terms that we just talked about in the last video. Let's try another example. This example I like a lot because it helps to hopefully eliminate a misconception. A lot of times what people try to do here is to combine negative 11 plus 9 first. But remember, we always want to multiply before we add or subtract. So multiplication means we're going to actually distribute first. So negative 11 plus 9 times x plus 9 times 3 is our first step. Negative 11 plus 9 times x is just 9x, and 9 times 3 is 27. So step 1, distribute, done. Step 2, identify our like terms. In this case, our like terms are the constants, the numbers without variables, negative 11 and plus 27. So we're going to rewrite it so that those are right next to each other, so it's a little bit easier to combine. So rewrite step 3. And then step 4, we just combine any of our like terms, which in this case is negative 11 plus 27, which is a positive 16. Different signs, one's negative, one's positive, so we subtract. And that's our final answer, 16 plus 9x. And here's our third example for this lesson. We have actually 2 sets of parentheses here. So step 1, we're going to distribute, just like we did in the last 2 examples, 4 times 5 and 4 times x. However, for this second set of parentheses, it's not quite the distributive property because the term inside is just one term, 2x. So we're really here just multiplying 3 times 2x. So we have 4 times 5 plus 4 times x plus 3 times 2x is just multiplication. So we get 20 plus 4x plus 6x. Step 2 is to identify our like terms, which are a plus 4x and a plus 6x. We don't need to rewrite here step 3 because they're already next to each other, so we're going to skip step 3 and go straight to step 4, which is to combine our like terms. So we get 20 plus 10x, and that's our final answer. All right, let's try some of these. So take a few minutes to try these, and then I'll show you how to get the answers. Okay, example number 1, start by distributing. I'm going to skip a few steps on here just for space saving purposes. 9 plus 3 times 7x is 21x, plus 3 times 4 is 12. Our like terms are 9 and plus 12. So if I write those next to each other, we can combine 9 plus 12, which is 21 plus 21x for that first example. Question number 2, 3 times 2y is 6y, plus 2 times 6 is 12, minus 2 times 8y is 16y. Our like terms are 6y and a minus 16y. If I write those next to each other and then combine them, 6 minus 16 is a negative 10y plus 12. And our third example, we have to be very careful here. Negative 2 times 5h is negative 10h minus negative 2 times 11 is a negative 22 plus 7 times 2h is 14h. Before I do anything else, remember we have this double negative here. I'm going to rewrite that as just a plus sign. Our like terms are negative 10h and a plus 14h, so I'm going to write those next to each other. And then combining negative 10 plus 14 gives us 4h plus 22 for that third example. Okay, here's a multiple choice question for you. Which expression is equivalent to 2 times the quantity 1 minus 2n minus 5n? If you said B, 2 minus 9n, you would be correct. 2 times 1 is 2, minus 2 times 2n is 4n, minus 5n. Our like terms here, minus 4n and a minus 5. If you take away 4 and then you take away 5 more, you're taking away 9. So that's one way of writing it. You could also write it as 2 plus a negative 9. Okay, so we have a few examples of word problems for how to write and simplify expressions. Some of these are in your notes as well, so go ahead and make sure you're writing these in the notes. This says you bought 3 pieces of chicken that cost X dollars each, a salad for $3, and a drink for $1.25. Write an expression that would represent your total cost. So 3 pieces of chicken for X dollars each. That would be 3 times X dollars plus 1 salad for $3 and 1 drink for $1.25. If I simplify that, I can combine the 3 and the $1.25, and I would get an expression of 3x plus $4.25. Our second example says you have D dollars in a savings account. Your sister has $25 more than you in her account. Write an expression in simplest form that represents the total amount of money in both accounts. So here we know that D is your savings. If your sister is $25 more than you, and you have D dollars, your sister would be D plus 25. Now, to write an expression that represents the total of both, we're going to add yours plus your sister's. So D plus 25 is your expression, and then if we simplify it, D plus D, remember that's a 1D and a 1D, makes 2D plus 25 for our answer in simplest form. This example says Sal has scored G goals this season. Ben has scored 4 times as many goals as Sal. The expression G plus 4G represents the total goals scored between the two players. If Sal scored 21 goals, how many did they score altogether? So if G represents 21, we're going to take the expression and we're going to take the G's and replace them with 21s. So 21 plus 4 times 21, which is 84. And then 21 plus 84 is 105 goals. It's a lot of goals. Okay, this example says write an expression in simplest form that represents the perimeter of the triangle. Remember, perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. So to get perimeter, we add all of the sides. So let's just start with this one, x plus 5 plus 2x plus 1. To put it in simplest form, we find our like terms. We have x and plus 2x. Those are all like terms. And then we have a plus 5 and a plus 1 that we can combine. So let's put all the x's next to each other. X plus 2x, and then plus 5 plus 1. So we have 1x plus 1x plus 2x, that's 4x. 5 plus 1 is 6. So our total perimeter is 4x plus 6. And for one final example, Mr. Raphael needs to buy notebooks for his children to start the school year. His son Manny needs 11 notebooks. His daughter Daphne needs twice as many as Manny, and his other daughter Ophelia says she needs 1 fewer than Manny. How many notebooks will he need to buy in all? So let's start by taking a look at each child. So we know that Manny needs n notebooks. We know that Daphne needs twice as many as Manny. So if Manny needs n, Daphne needs 2n. And we have Ophelia, who says she needs 1 fewer than Manny. So if Manny has n, Ophelia needs 1 less than that, which is n minus 1. And then how many will he need to buy in all? That means we want to add all of these together. So n plus 2n plus n minus 1. All of our like terms are already next to each other. 1n plus 2n plus 1n is 4n minus 1 notebooks.